Hello, fellow psychonauts, seers, and mystics. Welcome to another edition of Magus Maximus. It's been quite a while. I haven't, give me a second to adjust that. Haven't done a video in quite some time, and I just haven't really found a topics to keep going on. And so, okay, so what I'm going to talk about at this point is um, okay, so I discovered something known as the gateway tapes. The gateway tapes, which are part of the gateway experience or the gateway program. Okay, so let's have a little background on what it is, and, and then we'll talk about my experience with it and the effects it's have on me. And okay, so there's this guy named, don't know if he's alive, I think he's dead now. His name was Robert Monroe, and he worked in radio, and he was decided to do experiments on trying to induce sleep through sound waves. And so he experimented with this on himself, and then he had a out of body experience. So first he thought he was crazy. He had friends that were doctors um, and psychiatrists and psychologists, and they told him he wasn't going crazy. And so he ended up doing experiments on ways to create this out of body experience. Okay, and so he created the Monroe Institute. The Monroe Institute worked with the federal government, with the CIA, on at the time it was what you call it. It was oh, what do you call it? Top secret experiments. And if you, I'm sure you might not know the specific names and stuff, but you know the CIA experiments with the remote viewing and stuff. Well, that was the gateway experience, and so um, and then that was like the only thing that came out of it that really worked for the CIA, because they wanted to use it as a weapon, but someone who went through this entire experience, the tapes, this transformation, it made them full of love and full of like, it basically put them in a state of caring for other human beings, and when you reach that point, you're not going to want to hurt anybody. And so that's what this whole thing started off as. And okay, so and then I found out about it, and you can either spend hundreds of dollars or and hundreds of dollars, or you can go on YouTube and you can actually listen to them for free. Okay, so let's get down to my experience with it. Okay, so the first time I did the tape, now I'm like, I don't know, like on tape, the track 14 or something like that. And it's been a hell of a fucking experience. I mean, this shit is no joke. This is not a bunch of garbage. And okay, well, the binaural beats was something, the name that he came up with, or I don't know if he came up with, but he created binaural beats. He created this hemisync thing, and this kind of technology that integrates the two halves of your brain to work as one. It's used in all kinds of things. There's like another thing called holosync, and holosync's for like normal people, right? So like it's for people who just wanted to get better and help their mind out if they have like issues and stress and all that. But the this technology was originally created to basically bring out latent psychic abilities. Okay, and what's the word? Alternate states, altered states of mind. Okay, so the first time I didn't even get through the whole first track, right? And so when I did, like, I know that with stuff like this, you have to like sit down first, but I had to get up real quick to help cook something, because something came up. So I had to hurry up and get up, and I swear to God, I usually don't talk about past drug experiences, because like I don't want to encourage people to do stuff like that. But it was like the first, to me it was like doing acid, and not, it's like right when the acid starts working, like right before you get the hallucinations, you get this like bodily feeling, and everything seems like bright, and everything seems loud, and everything. So I started to have that feeling, and I'm like, oh, whoa, this is really doing something. And so I've been going through the different things, and I've, at some points, I've been doing too much. Like at one point, I did 2 hours, and then the last thing I had done when I was doing that, I was having really weird things going on. So, um, the what it was okay. So I got what to like the um, I don't know where I was. Like I got to the part where it's talking about the clock face. Well, you go up, you levitate in your mind. You're basically doing an out of body experience, and you're rising up above. And I like got to like way above the third floor of this apartment building. There's 3 floors, and so I was there, and then it's telling you to like basically perceive everything around the whole clock face. Basically, seeing in a 360 degree um 360 degree um circumference. So okay, well the problem was like later on that day I was walking from Walmart, and I was feeling bad, and it was weird. It was like I could see everything around me in a 300 degree thing, like the thing was. Okay, so but it was one thing when I was doing it intentionally, but it was making me feel really weird, and it was like, oh my God, I couldn't shut it off, and like, so my girlfriend was like, you need to slow down on that a little bit. So I am, and then I think I skipped a day entirely, and now I'm slowing down on it, but it's definitely doing something to me. It's changing me, and it's changing me for the better. But some of the things like, so if you're doing this I mean, if you have no experience with like any type of altered state or doing magic or anything like that, take it one step at a time. Don't go overboard like I'm doing. I shouldn't even be doing it, but especially as someone who hasn't had any experience in altered states or anything like that, you might want to pace yourself. So, the thing is that this is really doing something, and these things are really working. And it's like the thing is a lot of them are they're different techniques for the same thing you're doing in magic, except it's going at an accelerated rate. So it's like I'm still doing my magic, my rituals and stuff, but it's like supercharging it, and it's like it's cool. But I'm in such a like, you get into this thing and you're like, oh, this is so cool. And the problem is you do not want to do it so fast, because like like I said, some of the things are a little hard to handle, especially if you like overload yourself. And like when I wasn't wanting to see everything around me, and I'm not talking about like you see with your eyes, but it's you can like you can see it, but you're seeing with your mind. Uh, and it's really cool unless it's when it's not too much. And like there's a few things about that I have to go back and some of the tapes I'll go back and work on stuff, because it doesn't just have, so it does emit these sounds that are supposed to in like basically make the two halves of the brain work better, work as one. And the problem with that is that is a that is not how we're functioning. I mean, we're scatterbrains, man, and this is like bringing everything into focus to where our brain works at its best. And at least for the thousands of years, that's not how things have been. So I mean, so it's gonna make a change in you. And if you're like, and if you're not used to something like that, I mean, I'm used to these things. I'm used to these feelings, these states, altered states, and using magic. And magic itself will bring, especially if you're doing ceremonial magic like I am, it'll bring on altered states, but not at this level. So especially if you're new to anything like magic or anything, take it slow. Take it slow, because you don't want to end up in the psych ward. Um, because they won't believe you. They'll think you're on drugs or something or whatever or bipolar. And well, I am bipolar, but the point is, it's like it's not going to help you if you put yourself in a psych ward for a couple of weeks. That's really going to set back the process. So, I mean, these are really cool, and I'd advise on going on YouTube and listening to them, experimenting with them, and um, but don't do a marathon thing. Really, I would suggest, especially if you're a beginner, okay, in the beginning, when you first do it, don't go any further than you can. Okay, so like I didn't even finish the first track at first. Okay, so the minute you're starting to feel like super anxiety and you feel like you can't go further, stop, and then try again another day, and then see if you can go through the whole track. And then another day, I wouldn't do probably more than an hour a day tops. And I didn't go by that. So I'm telling you, you're going to have some weird side effects of this that you might be out in about. Uh, and especially once you're done with what you're doing, lay there for a while. Don't go and no matter what, do not go out and use heavy equipment or drive or anything like that because you're gonna be weird for a few minutes. So lay down, whatever, sit down, and let yourself chill and let the effects happen. And let your brain kind of go back to normal before you do anything after that. Okay, so I mean, this is some cool stuff. This is some next level stuff, and it's a real popular topic right now, especially in what are we called? Come on, brain. Occult circles, but it wasn't something that was meant to be an occult thing. And like there's a whole report on it. I got a book that has the report in it, but it kind of explains it because sometimes one government reports can be really dry and boring, and two, some of the stuff needs to be explained because you might not understand with the words they're using what they're actually trying to get through. So so go on there, try listening to these things, and I mean, if you do, and you have, um, people don't really interact with me anymore. I guess because I told people I didn't want trolls on here, that they're like, okay, 90% of the people don't want to do anything because they're like, but trolling is what we do now. But anyways, seriously, like I want you to guys to um, listen to these things and maybe shoot me some messages here, some comments, and let me know about your experiences and what you think. And not everybody's going to have the same level of experiences. It depends on different things. Like my brain's kind of weird, anyways. Like because when I was I mean, it comes off normal under like if you do brain scans and stuff, probably. But at one time, my brain was severely damaged, and we're talking about I was a baby. I had came down with spinal meningitis, which is the viral version, which you can't do thing like now they have antiviral stuff, but back then they didn't, and so I just had to write it out. They only could treat the symptoms, and it screwed up the part of my brain that deals with come on um, with motor skills. So, like, I'm a very smart person. My brain works fine in that, and my motor skills are a lot better than they used to be. I can pretty much do anything I put my mind to. So, that's cool. But basically, so I might have a weird brain that maybe I'm gonna have more effects on that, and I've been doing ceremonial magic for like 3.5 years. So that's changed my brain. So I'm going to have different effects. It's going to have a different effect on you than it might on me. It might not do anything to you. It might do a lot more to you or whatever. But it's some really cool stuff. And if you are in the occult, into the occult, you'll really like this stuff. If you're not, you might not. It might freak you out, and you may never do it again. But it's interesting, and it's interesting how you can get these altered states from just listening to something. But oh, my point of view, but it's not just listening to the thing, it's also giving you instructions on how to do certain techniques. And some of them are really cool, and some of them can be kind of freaky. So check it out, take your time, and uh, shoot me a comment and let me know how it's affecting you. And even if you're watching this and you've already done it, you've already worked with the tapes, let me know. Let me know what you've done, what you're feeling, how you've experienced these things, because it's a really cool phenomenon, and I'm really excited about this. I just need to slow my ass down because I, I did the same thing with ceremonial magic. I like kind of rushed through to learn advanced techniques, and then it like kind of overloaded me, and I had to go back and start over again to balance stuff out. So like I said, don't go by my example. Don't like rush through it, and don't overload yourself, because I was just trying to. And don't be like me and think, oh well, yeah, I can handle 2 hours of this. No, I couldn't, and probably neither can you. So, like I said, check it out, take it at your own pace, and do only what you can handle at the time. Okay, so it's been nice seeing you guys again. I know s- uh, it's not that long of a recording here, but nobody really watches my whole show anyway. So, my nose itches. Well, anyways, it's been nice knowing you guys. Not nice knowing you guys. It's been nice talking to you guys again, and hopefully I'll see you sometime soon. Hopefully I'll come up with another idea of what to talk about, or maybe I'll talk more about this and let you know how my progress is going, and what I'm feeling, and maybe the side effects that are going on because of it. So, okay, man, this has been a hoot, and I'm your host, Chris Thompson, and just be magical or something. So, see ya.